What is up, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? And I've got a special episode today of On the Bench, because this is On the Bench. Just shut the door. Man, it's been hot lately. A little too hot. Well, it's the humidity that affects me more than anything, but we'll get into that later. This is On the Bench, and I'm excited for this one because a book I ordered has arrived today. It's a book I've already got, but I've had it since I was a child, and I want to read it again, and I really am fearful that should I do so, it will just fall apart. It's old anyway. So yeah, grab your glues, brushes, models, whatever else you need, and we will get going on this adventure of awesome hobbying. Hobby along with me. I'll chat to you about the hobby and other stuff, things that are going on, and we'll get stuff done.
Alrighty, so here we are on the bench, and of course the first thing I want to do is share this book I've bought with you. Well, just to open it. I'm pretty stoked because it's been a while since I read this book, and although it's not entirely hobby related, it is kind of, well, it could be, I suppose. Depends what you'll do. Isaac Asimov, The Caves of Steel. Wow. So this is yeah. So this is a book I first got back when I was back when I was in primary school and read, and I fell in love with the writings of Isaac Asimov and all his whole robot business. This is part of the what is known as the Elijah Bailey novels and series of books. So I thoroughly recommend this book if you're doing anything sci-fi related, especially role-playing. This gives you a almost, well, it's not 100% accurate view of the future, but it's a scarily close view of the future. Back from when it was written. So let's see when this was written. This was written in it was copyright 1954. So this is awesome. Oh, yeah, I'll be able to read this book because my other book's so old it's in danger of falling to bits. It really is. I'm really stoked to be getting this. Yeah, it gives me something to talk about to you as well, because it's something different. Reading is one of my hobbies, and I'm at my bench, and I do a lot of reading at my bench here. So yeah. If you want to check out my in-depth thoughts on this book, you can head on over to Pete's Media Reviews, and I'll leave a link if I can, where I review different media formats, books, films, music, concerts, that kind of thing. And yeah, I've got a review of The Caves of Steel by Isaac Asimov. Head on over there and check that out if you wish. If it's not your bag, then let's crack on with some modelling. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you because I'm currently reading The Hobbit at the moment to get me into flavour for my RPG, for what I'm currently doing on the bench, and we'll come to that right now. Make sure you got your drinks ready though, won't you? I'll just put my book up there. I've got my coffee. Apologies if you can hear a fan in the background. It is so hot and humid here. It is stupid. It's not even funny. Right, so these are my Dwarven Rangers, as you probably know. So yeah, so we've got some things to do on these to get these guys up to speed, and then also I want to work on is Tom Bombadil. Yeah, Tom Bombadil. I've got Bjorn the Mighty. Yeah, he wasn't easy to put together actually. He's only two-part, but he's metal miniature, and he was a bit tricky, I'll be honest. I've got Samwise Gamgee here. There's not much he's doing on him, but yeah, we'll come back to them. So I started work on Tom Bombadil, as you can see. I've just done his skin. Well, I've started painting his skin, his hat, and his hair and beard and that, and the feather. No, I know his coat will have to be blue and his boots need to be yellow. I might do a sort of lighter coloured tunic for him. We'll come on to him later though. At first, I need to reacquaint myself with what I was doing here. So I need to look at these models, see what needs adding. Alright, so as far as a dwarf tabletop RPG goes, I think he's pretty good. What about him? He's pretty good too, actually. Right, he's got a like a pouch or something. All right, we'll make sure we do that. Do I have any? I do with a light brown, perhaps. A very light brown. We could do this. Ballor brown. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Right, so we'll do that. It is very hot. I've been suffering. As you know, I'm back at work, and this last week I have been suffering because of my MS and the temperature. Some of you may know temperature really affects people with MS in a big way. And I mean, it affects all of us in a big way. I mean, we all struggle, but man, it makes your symptoms 100 times worse. There's no question. No question of that. I just hope, that certain individuals can be understanding of that. But yeah, I've really suffered this week. Last 2 days in particular were not pleasant at all. Just down to the heat. So I've got my fan on. We've had storms as well. Well, not like massive storms, but we've had stormy weather for sure. And it hammered down last night with rain. But the humidity is here to stay for a few days, it would seem. I don't know. I've always said Plymouth is the rain capital of England. It certainly seems to be. I know the gardens could do with it, but nah, I'm not a fan. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan. Alright, so right now I'm looking for any more pouches. If anybody's got them. Yeah, and he has. So but the next one, no. But I might do some highlights on his braid at the back. He needs. I've got a pouch to do, very tiny pouch, but a pouch nonetheless. So I'm on my day off now. Oh, well, I've got a couple of days off now, which is nice, and yeah, I'm loving that. One day is really about recovery, then the next day I can enjoy. That's his pouch done. So we can put a couple of highlights. Paint's not taking long to dry, that's for sure. Right. Anybody else have any pouches? It's a pity they can't answer you. Go, yeah, I got one here. Yes, he's got one. We're close to completion for these guys then. We can then see if there's anything else I want done from my shelf of shame. And then we can crack on with that. So, alright, so work's been hot and busy. It's gonna seem weird going through Christmas again now after what feels so soon. You know, because doesn't seem like all that long ago to me. Right. The pouch here. You can hear that fan. Well, I'm sure you can hear that fan, but if you can't, then trust me, it's there. If it gets any hotter, I'll have to turn it up. And then you'll definitely hear it. My mum complains she can hear the fan. I'm talking to her on the phone because I've got my phone on a tripod. It's right next to the fan. I'll have to move that today. Make sure she can't. Well, it doesn't interfere too much. It was all plugged in last time, see, and it would have been more trouble to get it out of the way. I would have knocked something over. I know my limits there. I've had a bit of fun and games with the washing machine this morning. I had to drain it manually and unblock it because there was a blockage, and so that was fun. That got me up earlier though than I anticipated. All fun and games though, eh? The other pouches. Can't see any extra ones. No, that's fine. Alright, so the other one, which is this guy here, needs a handle doing. So for that, the wood, I think we'll just go with a Gorthor brown. It's just a plain handle, so just using the dampness of the brush to thin this down. Right, there we go. There's his handle done. Excellent. That went smoother than I was expecting. Now, I know I've done some of the basing on them. I've put flock on some, and I don't know whether to have the rims of the bases black or my sort of standard Steel Legion drab. I'm not certain on that yet. I might. Don't know. I really don't. I might paint some of them Steel Legion drab here. No might about it. I'm going to paint some of them Steel Legion drab. The ones without the flock, I think. Or should I do the ones with the... Oh, I don't know. It's so confusing. No, ones with the flock. Made an executive decision without the flock. I don't know. I know what I'm talking about. Just do one. If it looks like it's out of place, just go over it with black again, can't I? Right. Suffering with a little bit of handshake today. I think that's because of the way I've been lately. This past week, it's really taken it out of me more than I was expecting. I did more hours the week before last than I intended, well, than I was expecting. I know it's more money, but damn, it takes it out of me. It really does. Right, so I've done that. I don't know. I'm thinking keep them black. It's a puzzle, all right. As the murderer said to Columbo in an episode. I can't remember what it was called. I love watching how he unravels the mystery before him. Great series. Great series, great. Right, so I've got Albadon black here. I'm thinking of going black with them blacking up. So yeah, I mean, it's drying. It's half dry already. I mean, this is crazy. Good job I got my drying retarder handy, close to hand. Well, whilst I'm contemplating that puzzle, I need to find a suitable blue for Tom Bombadil. Thousand Suns blue might. Yes, I think Thousand Suns blue for his jacket. Whilst I'm in a quandary about what to do with their bases here, I think I'm going to switch him back to black as a base. I don't know. Feels like my brush isn't cleaned up properly. Let's do that. See, look with the others. There's It really is a quandary I'm in. I think they look good. Black and brown. As it's drying, I'm more like it. Yeah. I think I'll certainly do all the ones that are not flocked. I'll do them Steel Legion Jab, I think. I think once it comes together and they are actually together on the tabletop, it will look a lot they'll be more consistent with one another. Oh, my the channel where I got my inspiration for deciding to film a solo RPG campaign, which is called Me, Myself and Die, has announced he's doing his second season soon. Oh, I'm so excited for that, because he really does a good job on it, and to me he is the like the point I want to aim towards. I'll never get there, I don't think, but because he is a guy's called Trevor DeVal, and he is a voice actor, and he's got an incredible voice. You can see why he's a voice actor. He's brilliant with accents and the acting he puts into his characters. It's perfect for solo RPG. He's changing the system for season 2. He's going to be, using a character from season 1. I think he was called Arn Alapunki or something like that. But he was using Savage Worlds as a system, which I have. But he's going to Iron Sworn, I think it's called. And I think he said we'll get used to the game mechanics as we play through the scenario or the campaign itself. So for me, I'm going to be using the Lord of the Rings, the role-playing game system. I did look at the One Ring as well, but finances unfortunately wouldn't allow me to obtain that particular rule set, although maybe in the future, who knows. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to role play in Middle Earth, because it's it's really cool because it's going to be so different from a conventional like D&D game, say. Because magic, for instance, isn't as prevalent in the world. Well, it is, but you don't get wizards like you do in Dungeons and Dragons. It's not a very common thing. You get characters, people that can cast magic, yes, and of course elves can. Theirs is more of a command of nature, really, like elvish magic. But yeah, I like the whole Middle Earth setting, and I think setting the campaign, in the Third Age, it's going to be cool because the One Ring is still around. Some weird things can be still around and abroad, as they say. So it's going to be good. I'm super stoked. I've dug out some scenery for it. I'm going to be doing some of it on I'm doing it over at my other desk, or my half of my gaming table, because I've got 2 gaming tables, and one of them is up out there at the moment, well, over the other side of the studio. So I'll be doing it on that. It's what I did my Flames of War on. I was learning that, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got another gaming mat somewhere which I can use for it as well. And of course I've got my dice trays. Which are all going to add to it. Right, so wash my brush up thoroughly. Oh my goodness, is that half an hour nearly? 27 minutes. Oh my gosh. Can't believe it. I really cannot. I think I was saying last week or last session, I can't believe how quick time goes in these. How are you getting on with your projects? What are you working on? I know some of you are working on your Indomitus box sets, and that's really cool. Those models do look excellent, and and the Necrons look fantastic. I'm sure Nick from Idic Beer 40k Necrons and more, I'm sure he's pretty stoked with the Necron models. Have you seen his latest table over on Instagram? His Necron table, fantastic. I think it was Jewel Knight Jess put a comment up saying it's very Tron-like, and I have to agree, it does remind me of Tron as well. It's unquestionably a Necron setting, let's put it that way. Right. Whilst I'm waiting for those few bases to dry, so what I'll do is I'll move my Dwarven Rangers off the painting area. Whilst I'm waiting for that, do some work on Tom Bombadil. Well, I better do his tunic, I think. What? Oh, I like colour. Trouble is, the light colours, like the bone colours, and that they dry out pretty quick as is. And this humidity, this heat. If I open the pot will dry up. Huh. What if I gave him pallid witch flesh? Deepkin flesh, I think. Give him, because then I can do a like a watered down green shade wash on it, I think. So I want it to have a green tint to it, but not to be green, like bright green sort of thing. This is my version of Tom Bombadil, folks. I know the basic colours that Tom Bombadil is, but you know, this one is going to have a lighter tunic. Right. Okay. So let's pop some of this out onto my palette. Retarder. 1, 2, 3 drops of retarder. Heck yes. Bit of water. This will probably want 2 coats. And I don't care. I don't care. So yeah, so my second week then at my work is over and done. Tell you, one of the things I do like about my job is, you know, you, for the most part, you're left alone to just get on with it, which is great. Yeah, it's absolutely great. And for those of you wondering what it is I do, I'm a personal shopper. That's what they call a personal shopper. I pick the shopping orders that people order for their online food deliveries and whatnot, and it's great because the job itself, I have to say, it's one of the easiest jobs I've ever done in my life, in terms of, you know, there's no thinking or responsibility. I mean, I've had the high responsibility jobs when I was younger, and that was all well and good when I had the energy and the health to cope with it, but these days I'm more than happy to, you know, relinquish that and just do a job where I don't need to think too much. It's just to pay my bills, put food on the table, and enable me to do my hobby, which I love and helps me with my condition. Mrs. Mini Warzone, she has the the higher end job, as it were. Yeah, she's got responsibility. She needs to think all the time. It's just, I'm like, oh, I'm just glad to clock in, do my job, and clock out and go home and forget about it. You know, I remember the days when I used to have to take work home with me, and it wasn't good. Used to keep me up all night sometimes with worry. Back in the olden days, I used to worry about things relating to my work, and I'm sure the same can be said of many of you. But for me, you see, having MS, the job I do is pretty good. You know, because I've got this trolley I can lean on as I walk around. I was struggling to walk yesterday, I'll be honest. I was having to use my trolley as more like a Zimmer frame. It was difficult. And that, I put that down to the heat. Making my legs not function properly, and all sorts. I think I hear an airplane. Haven't heard one of those for a while. Right, so that's the first coat of his tunic done. Let's apply a second coat now. Might be able to get it on relatively quick. Might even need 3 coats. Might get away with it because I'll be putting a wash on it after or later anyway. So this is deepkin flesh, did I say? Yes, deepkin flesh. And yeah, so that's what I do. I'm a personal shopper. So it suits me, you know. Yeah. Ooh. I mean, poor old Mrs. Mini Warzone. She could be stuck in like a 2, 3, even 4 hour meeting sometimes. You know, it's oh man. You know, I don't miss that at all. That sort of thing. I just couldn't do it. No. I couldn't sit for that long anyway. It drives the muscles in my legs insane. Drive me insane. Yeah, but no, it feels good doing personal shopping though. You know, it feels like you're doing an important role. You've got quite a good purpose, so it's all good. I think I'll leave his tunic where it is for now. It's giving me something else to think on. He looks like he's thinking anyway, doesn't he? There, you know, he's deep in thought. Tom Bombadil. Right. I'm wondering what's next for my Dwarven Rangers, though. I really am. About Bjorn the Great, or the Mighty. Yeah. I'm thinking bronzed flesh for his skin. He doesn't actually have a lot of skin. To paint just his face and his hands. Oh, one of his arms there, a couple of his arms, a couple of small patches on his arms. The rest he's clad in chainmail. So yeah, we could perhaps do that bronze flesh tone. And this is a game colour paint. And it's really a really nice flesh tone to use. Let's give it a bit of a shake. Yeah, shake. Where are we at? 39 minutes. Ooh. Oops, sorry, I think I knocked the microphone. Do you know, ever since I started my channel, I don't think there's video gone by where I haven't knocked the microphone, knocked the camera stand, or something. You know, it's craziness. Right, so put a glob of that on. Two drops of retarder. Dab of water. We're good. Right. So, Bjorn the Mighty. I'll do his neck first, I think. Yes. See, I'm glad they had him in the Hobbit movie, because it's a really cool character, and I want to portray him in my campaign at some point. Doesn't really choose sides, does he? He's I think he's the last of his kind, or he's one of the last of his kind. It's like a weird bear or something, isn't he? Maybe it may be good to have him as a character. See, I want obviously I want randomness to my game, but I also want some kind of structure to it. So, without giving anything away, I'm going to be wanting to go to certain places and meet certain people, characters, whatever, and perhaps let the randomness happen, in between. I see Trevor Duval from the Me, Myself and Die channel, whom I really admire. He admitted he was nervous about it, because he went totally random on his first season. Right from the first scene, nothing ever really transpired as he was expecting. Even the first scene setup was a random rolled event, which he pieced together, and he came up with an incredible story, during the course of the season, and I really admire him for that. I admire his ability to ad lib and just basically go with the flow. He'd have been a great contestant on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Do you remember that? I don't know if it's still a thing. It used to be anyway, and I used to like watching it. I paint a little bit unsure as to what's his skin and what's the furs there, so I'll just paint it all, and that way kind of covers myself with that a bit, doesn't it? I can just dab on the fur, and the skin underneath will show through that. Yeah. Bjorn. It's not an official Bjorn model, it's a Reaper version. But it will do for me because it depicts him perfectly, I think. And I quite like that he's got, you know, holding an axe, you know, in his man form. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah. Bronze flesh tone. It's a really nice flesh colour. I enjoy it. Of course, I'm not being too careful on this first coat. Why would I be? Well, you know, I try to be a little bit careful if I can, but I'm not bothered about going over other areas at this stage because it's the innermost layer, as it were, and I always work from the inside out. So, well, sometimes I deviate, but for the most part I work from the inside out, flesh outwards to the outer layers of clothing or armor or whatever it is, and that works for me. Of course, everybody should do what they're most comfortable with, but this is what I'm most comfortable with, so that's how I do it. Yeah, I'm not doing these contrasts and things. I'm trying to keep them traditional, and hopefully they'll have a traditional feel about them then. Right. Think we're there on it. Does he have any skin showing on his legs? None that I can see. Right, so that is pretty much the only skin on him. But that's cool. Tom Bombadil and Bjorn the Mighty. I can put those in the title of the video now because I'm working on them. Oh, I've had my coffee. Oh, well, yeah. So, and I'm still no closer to what am I going to do with the dwarves. I want to coat them, varnish them, but well, the temperature make it go a bit weird. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Yeah, I've got a polyurethane matte varnish that might go on a little better in this heat, but don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that yet. So I don't know. There's so much to do for this prep because I want it to be a little bit visual for my solo RPG campaign. I suppose that's going to be more for my sake, but it is also for the sake of the video as well, you know, because it's going to make it easier for me to fire off ideas and things. So yeah. Alright, I've got a friend of mine phoning me later today. He said he's going to phone me. The one who lives in Liverpool. I expect he'll be coming down again soon. Coming down to see his kids and whatnot. Actually, I think I might have missed a spot on his arm, you know. It's unforgivable. Right, there we are. Yeah. Right, so what do I think? These dwarves, then I think I better do them, make them all the same. So I will do the rest of them. What do I do with that piece of plastic? Who knows? I'll make sure I do the rest of them in Steel Legion Drab. Yeah. Yep, so here we go. I've downloaded a couple of different games on my phone lately, just, you know, these pass the time sort of games. Downloaded Frozen. I've really, because I love the music more than anything. And I love the music because when I first got into the hobby, well, you know, after I was medically retired, when I first got into the hobby, I had many periods of being quite poorly and not able to do anything. And my wife used to play Frozen, and I found the music rather soothing, actually. And so now, whenever I hear it, I love it. But the game itself is quite good fun, I suppose. You know, just typical of those sort of Candy Crush, match the objects to blast them away type of things. You know, it's pretty mindless. But I've downloaded this other game yesterday called what the heck's it called? Small Town Murders or something like that. And it's basically solving murder cases, but in order to do anything, you've got to do similar type of games to Frozen, matching the objects up and so on and so forth. It's alright, but it's getting on my nerves. But you can't do anything, you know. You can't even sneeze without having to play a level in order to do that. It's like, you know, I just want to check that clue out here. I just want to check that pile of papers on the desk. You know, I appreciate you got to do the games, but yeah, I've got a couple of suspects for my first murder case there already. So hey ho, so I can get these guys done and I'll be quite happy, I think. Right. Oh dear. So, what's the weather like where you are? I'd be interested to know. At the time of recording, like I say, the weather is very, very extremely hot here. Hot and humid. No shortage of water out in mini Warzone. So I can wash my brushes till the cows come home and I won't run out of water. For those of you that don't know, all the water I use to like wash my brushes out or anything else I need for the hobby is taken from a dehumidifier that's in the studio. It collects enough water to do that. Been out here for years and I've never needed to fill up a bowl from the tap once. So it's good use of recycling, I think. So I'm calling these dwarves done after this point. Pardon me. They'll be fine for the RPG sessions. Don't forget, I still stand by. It's going to be a while before it happens because there's a lot to prepare for. I've got to do my hobbit hole yet. You know, I've got to sort that out. Make a hill for the hobbit hole front to go on. I kind of know how I'm going to do that. Right, so they're done. I'm sure they're probably dry already, but I'll just move them off to one side so that they can dry. Come back to Tom Bombadil. Now, no. I'm going to, yes, a shade wash, a green shade. Let me just check out what this green colour, green. I want something a little less pigment heavy. Well, Biltan green. I've got quite a green shade somewhere. If I water that down, I could, I suppose, use some Lamia medium to do it. In fact, yep. Use up the last of my Lamia medium on that pot, so that one can go. And it's a bit. Yeah, I only want it thin. So I'm thinking that will be good enough. Right. Right, so let's check out how it goes on. Oh yeah. Exactly how I want it. Nice. Very nice. So you're kind of almost making a contrast paint out of this. Almost. Doesn't behave in the same way, of course, but what you're hoping to achieve is pretty much identical. Put it on, and for the lighter parts to come out as highlights. Yeah, I quite like that. That's good. That works for me. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Don't want it to run too much. I think it will dry quite quickly. Then he's going to have a Thousand Suns blue jacket. In the meantime, let's go back to Bjorn the Mighty. Well, chain mail, I suppose. We have lead Belchar. What's the time here? Oh, we've gone over an hour. Well, that must... I know I've got to cut a chunk out, so it will be less than an hour. But I'm going to have to call it a day there. It's largely due to the uploading time it takes. Right, zoom right up. So there it is. We've accomplished much, my friends. We've accomplished much. My dwarves, I'm calling them done. Good enough for the RPG campaign. So my Dwarven Rangers, they are done. They just need sealing up, and that'll be fine. Tom Bombadil, did his tunic at least. Did the skin, or started the skin on Beyond the Mighty. So yeah, all in all, a good session. So thanks for joining me, guys. Remember, let me know what you're working on, as always, because I do enjoy that. Also, let me know what the weather's like there at the moment. Just a bit of fun, really. I'm just curious to know if, whilst I'm hobbying away in this heat, how it is for you guys, wherever you may be in the world. So thanks for watching. Remember, all brushes lead to war. And I'll see you on the next video, guys. Bye for now. Bye-bye.